This is Go Math, Chapter 1, Lesson 7, Subtract Whole Numbers. Very similar to yesterday's lesson, and in fact, I'm still wearing the same clothes from yesterday because I just made that video like 15 minutes ago, and I'm making this one now. Okay, so subtracting whole numbers, very similar to yesterday's lesson. We're doing the same thing. We're doing the estimating again with the rounding, and we are just doing the same thing, but with subtraction, okay? So, if you are struggling with subtraction, there's a good chance you are, because subtracting can be a little bit harder. You sometimes have to borrow from your neighbor. If you are struggling with subtraction, you can look at page 43 in your book. That is this page. And it gives you step by step by step on how to subtract. If you are still struggling to subtract after you've done this lesson, let me know and I will give you some tools and some different things that you can use to help you, and I will work with you. And like I said, every day, if you struggle with math, please come to our afternoon Zoom and I will help you, okay? So, looking at 1.7, subtracting whole numbers. Once again, grid paper is good, colored pencils are good, all that good stuff. So we're gonna jump right into page 44. I'm not gonna do this page. I'm gonna save this page in case you are struggling to subtract. You can use page 43. So let's move on to page 44. This part says, use addition to check your answer. You have known that from 3rd grade and 2nd grade that we can use addition to check our answers. That is just what that is reminding you of. Let's scroll on down here to the Sharon Show. Part number 1, subtract. Use the grid to record the problem. It is very important when we subtract and when we add to line up our place values. The ones with the ones, the hundreds with the hundreds, the tens with tens. I skipped that one. 100,000 with the 100,000. It's harder for us to remember to do that when we get into the 10,000s and the 100,000s, okay? So, that's what we're going to practice right now. We have, read that number to me. 637,350 minus 43,832. Okay, our bigger number. When we subtract, we have to start with the bigger number. So, just, put the number. Go ahead and put it on the second line, but you don't have to, but I'm going to. Let's start it right here. 637,350. Put one number in each grid box. Now we have 43,832. That 4 is in the what place value? The 10,000s. It lines up right here. We can't start him over here because this is not in the 100,000s. We have to start this number right here. 43,832. Subtract. And of course, our line. If you do not have grid paper or you do not have your book and you are writing this out, or you can grab a color if you don't have a color or whatever. I like to use that colors to separate my columns when we add or subtract. Okay. Now, we're gonna get into this harder part where we are subtracting, and it has been quite a while since we've subtracted. That's fun. Okay. My coffee's too hot. Let's get into this. 0 minus 2. Can we do it? No, we can't. We have to borrow from our neighbor. 0 minus 2 cannot do. So we are going to borrow from this 5, cross him out. He becomes a 4. And this 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. Now we move on to the tens column. 4 minus 3 is 1. 3 minus 8 is, did you say 5? Don't say 5 because it's not 5 because we can't do 3 minus 8. 3 is smaller than 8. We have to borrow from our neighbor. I'm going to put a little line through that 7. Our neighbor, he becomes a 6. Our 3 becomes 13. 13 minus 8, uh-oh, I don't know my subtraction facts. What do I have? I have a tool. I can use my fingers. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. I don't prefer you to use your fingers, but if that is something you have to do what you have to do. 5. Bring down the comma. 6 minus 3 is 3. 3 minus 4 is, did you say 1? Don't say 1 because we can't do 3 minus 4. We have to borrow from our neighbor. 6 becomes a 5. That 3 becomes a 13. 13 minus 4 is 9. 5 minus nothing is 5. We did it. Yay. Read that number to me. You just made that. What is that? 593,518. This problem we did not have to estimate, but we get 2 on the next one. Let's move on. Number 2, pause the video if you have to write that down if you are run a little bit low here, run a little bit slow. Okay, nice and large so we can see it. Estimate, then find the difference. Okay, if you remember from yesterday, to estimate, we have to round the 2 numbers. So what I like to do is rewrite them. Grab my marker. Rewrite this number over to the side. 14,659. To round him, to estimate him, I'm going to put a box around my 1, a little arrow over to the 4. 4, remember we have 0 through 4, stay the same. 5 through 9, round up. So that 4 goes with 0 through 4, stay the same. What stays the same? The 1 stays the same. Oh, let me just... There you go. The 1 stays the same, and everything else is a 0, so it becomes 10,000. Let's do it again for 11,584. Put a box around that first number and an arrow to the next guy. That 1 goes with 0 through 4, stay the same. What stays the same? That 1 in the box, so that becomes 10,000. So now we take our 10,000 minus 10,000. Okay, I already know something. 10,000 minus 10,000 is 0. Are we going to be getting 0 on this? Well, that's what these numbers are rounding to. So, it's 0. I'm going to put my estimate as 0. That's quite weird. Well, something that we talked about yesterday was there is a couple answers for, correct answers for estimating, because it doesn't tell us exactly where to round to. So we chose to round starting with the first number and we get 0. Now, what my book has as the answer key is what they did on this problem, they rounded to the 10,000s place where we rounded to the 100,000s place. And quite frankly, unless it tells you, then it doesn't matter. I need coffee, I'm sorry you guys. Nice and hot, okay. So, I'm cool with the answer 0 if you're cool with the answer 0. If you wanna try it, you wanna challenge yourself, try estimating the 2 numbers, but round to the nearest 10,000. So the 4 and the 1. If you wanna take a challenge, I wanna see if you can do that, let me know. All right, go ahead and subtract. I'm going to get my trusty, dusty colored marker pencil and put my lines between the two, all the numbers. All right, let's go. Are you ready? I'm ready. 9 minus 4 is? Good job, 5. 5 minus 8 is? Did you say 3? I hope you didn't say 3. You gotta borrow from your neighbor. So borrowing from the 5 is borrowing from the 6. The 6 becomes a 5. The 5 becomes a 15. 15 minus 8. Okay, can we do that without our fingers this time? Think about it real hard. 15 minus 8. Subtract them in your head. Okay, if you still can't get it, use your fingers. 15 minus 8. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Nice job, 7. And if you got that in your head, boom. That was a fist bump. Okay, 5 minus 5 is? Thank you, 0. That's one of my favorites. 4 minus 1 is? 3. And 1 minus 1 is 0, but we don't have to write it. Oh, I forgot! My favorite step, probably your favorites too. Bring down the comma. 3,075. Nice job. Alrighty. Now, don't forget, since we just did the adding lesson yesterday, that you are subtracting today. So over here, over yonder, when we did our estimating, don't forget to put a minus. Now, this is the part where we say, is our estimate reasonable? But is 0 close to 3,075? No, it's not. Because if you have $0 and someone else has $3,075, that's a lot more money than $0. However, you did, and we did, estimate correctly with estimating to the nearest 100,000ths place. I'm sorry, the 10,000ths place, not the thousands place. So we are correct. Go ahead and do it my way, but if you think that you can be challenged yourself, then you can estimate on another number, like starting in the 100s. You can even estimate in the 10s. That will give you a closer estimate than the farther you go left into the 10,000s or the 100,000s. No, that's a little confusing, but if you want a challenge, try that, okay? Let's do another one. We'll go on over to number 3. Actually, let's do the homework. Let's look at the homework page, which is not your homework. Your homework is something else. Okay. Let's try, where did it go? Number 4. There it is. This, if you want to follow along with me, is on page 47. We have to make an estimate, and we have to find the actual answer to the subtraction problem. Let's start with the estimate. First thing we're going to do is rewrite the numbers off to the side. 253,495. Okay, now, if you want a challenge, you can estimate this number anywhere in here. You can start in the 100,000s or the 10,000s or the 1,000s. I'm gonna go ahead and do the 10,000s this time, just to switch it up a little bit, since last time and every other time we've only done the farthest number over here. So today I'm going to choose to round to the 10,000s place. So I'm gonna put a box around my 5. This is just like the rounding lesson that we did a couple days ago. I'm gonna put a box around my 5, a little arrow over to my 3. 0 to 4 stay the same. 5 to 9 round up. 3 goes with 0 to 4, stay the same. What stays the same? The 5. But we keep that 2 because any numbers in front of our box also stay the same no matter what. So it's 2, 5, 250,000. That's our first estimate. Oh, I should have wrote it over here. I'm sorry. Now we need to estimate 48,617. Now we can choose to estimate here or here. Since I estimated in the 10,000s up here, I'm going to go ahead and estimate in the 10,000s down here, which is the 4, which happens to be the number all the way over to the left. And I put my arrow to my 8. 0 to 4 stay the same, 5 through 9 round up. That 8 goes with round up. What rounds up? That 4. So that 4 becomes a 5, and every other number behind him is a 0. Now what do? I have to subtract them because this is our subtraction lesson and it says subtract here. I do not add them, so do not add them. Go ahead and try that on your own. Did you get 200,000? I hope so. Okay. Now we are going to actually subtract our whole numbers. I'm going to get my trusty, dusty, colored utensil, and I am going to separate each number out into columns. Might be kind of hard to see, but I did it. It's there. See? All right. Let's do this. 5 minus 7. Do not say 2 because we can't do 5 minus 7. We have to borrow from our neighbor. Okay. Borrowing from the neighbor, the 9 becomes an 8. The 5 becomes a 15. 15 minus 7. Please try to do this in your head if you can. I know you can. If you don't think you can, you need to have a growth mindset. You need to say I can. So try to do 15 minus 7 in your head. I'll wait. Did you get 8? Nice job. 8 minus 1 is? Good job, 7. 4 minus 6, do not say 2. We have to borrow from our neighbor. Borrowing from that 3, he becomes a 2. The 4 becomes a 14. 14 minus 6. Try this in your head. I know you can do it. Try it in your head. Did you get 8? I hope you did. Bring down the comma. 2 minus 8. Do not say 6. You have to borrow from your neighbor. So that 5 becomes a 4. And now the 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 8 is, try to do it in your head. 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 2 minus nothing is 2. Okay, that is our final answer for our subtracting whole numbers. Is our estimate reasonable? We have 200,000 and 204,000. Are those pretty close? Yes. The closer, the farther over you estimate this way, the closer your exact answer will be, okay? So if you chose to estimate all the way to the number on the right, like the 5 here and the 7 there, your answer is going to be very, well, actually, you can't do that. I'm sorry. The 9 here and the 1 there, if you estimate with the 9 and the 1, then your answer would be very close to the exact answer, possibly the exact answer. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. If you're struggling like really bad in this lesson, I have a video for you to watch where it's just more review on subtraction, okay? And if you are feeling frustrated, it's okay. I don't want you to feel frustrated. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, okay? You are gonna get it. We are going to get it. We are all in this together, and I believe in you. If you need help, don't forget you can come to our 1:15 math help today or any day, unless it's canceled, because sometimes it has to be canceled because Ms. Hyman has meetings, okay? All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being hard workers.